You see how dark you are? Your face. You need a little bit light.
Yeah, tan. I have a tan.
Yeah. Okay, there we go, nice. Neurotic Artie, we have him back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Neurotic Artie back. He's been out for a couple of days. The anxiety has been too high. So we're subbing people right now. What we're doing is we're subbing. We had Zelly on a few days ago. He had to tap out. His anxiety gets too high. This is what happens with people. When the information starts leaking, anxiety gets too high. We got to sub people out. It's basically there's a similar thing in construction. I work in construction with people who work in a with radioactive materials and shit. Their thyroids, they absorb what is like radiation really quickly. So you have to sub in and out. You got to sub people in and out. It's the same thing with
Yeah.
anxiety and stuff like that. But I just want to take a moment and address what occurred yesterday with Zelly. Look, I didn't want to leak all this information too quick to him. It's basically what I did is he's a big fan of the Matrix. What I did is I showed him too much information too quick. I should have eased him into all the knowledge that's going on. And I I shouldn't have done it that way. I pushed him in too fast. I thought he was ready. He seemed like he was ready, but I couldn't pick up the keys and I saw he started backing up. The anxiety level got too high. He tapped out. We got Neurotic Artie back. Arthur, you're looking great. You look like you haven't slept in 3 days. How's everything?
Feel great. Glad to be back. I love the show.
Oh
My
man,
favorite show.
love having you on it every time. But look, these freaking guys, they're still harassing me. I don't know what the hell is going on. Um, but they actually called and left a voicemail on my fucking phone.
Who are you
Uh,
talking about?
harassing me. Let me play it right now. Hold on. Let me play the voicemail. They just left me. Here. They called and left this voice recording on my phone.
Listen, yesterday was a warning. We're still coming after you. We don't care about the kid Zelly, but we're coming after you. We are
Is
anonymous,
it
and
playing?
we will not be stopped, and we will be back.
Yes,
We
sir.
are anonymous, and we will not be stopped, and we will be back.
Did you hear it?
No. I heard some like distorted voice.
Yeah.
No.
That's.
I heard
I
some
mean,
like
it's.
distorted voice.
Oh God, you're looping. Hold on.
Yeah, it's because I have my audio
Okay.
on.
Make
You
it
know,
lower.
because I had to turn it on to hear it. And
Okay. Can you put on headphones so you can listen to it? I'll play it back one more time.
um, no, because I
What I
have
could
my
do,
headphones connected to my phone.
what I'll do right now. Listen to me. Hold on. What I'll do is, let me see.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. UN desktop. If I cut your, oh, I can't do it that way. I was wondering if I was able to mute you. Um, okay.
I mean, I could. No, actually, that won't work. Yeah. If you could play it through Skype, maybe that would be good.
Hold on. Let me see. How could I play it through Skype? Oh, here. I
But then the
send it to
viewers
you.
won't be
I
able
don't
to
know if
hear
I
it.
send it to you. Got anything? Am I even
Um,
able to send anything through Skype?
let me see.
I don't think so.
Nope, I didn't get anything.
Nope, you didn't get anything? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so I don't think I'm able actually to send stuff through Skype to you.
Hmm.
Okay. Which is whatever. Anyway, these people freaking left me a voice that message. The voice was scrambled, as it usually is, but they were saying pretty much they said, look, we don't care about the kid Zelly. We're after you, and we're gonna keep coming after you. We're anonymous and you can't stop us. Now I don't understand what I did to piss off the anonymous group, but
Oh, that.
dude, these guys are serious. I also been
Didn't
having
they
trouble.
threaten Elon Musk the other day? Is that the same group?
I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, look, we're gonna keep leaking information. I know me and you. Look, the only question is I have with you and other people who are down to fight is, are you willing to stand with me as we watch the world collapse and crumble while China, Russia, and all these other bastards, the UFO aliens, they all try to destroy the Earth while we try to
Of
expose the
course.
truth.
That's what I live for. That's what I live for.
What the hell is in the back of your room? Where's that, a camera? In the
Oh,
corner
that thing
over
in the
there.
corner?
Yeah, what the
It's a
hell is it?
speaker. It's surveilling. It's an alien speaker.
What the hell are you talking about? Look, I need more information. What's going on with the Russia situation? What's going on with China? What have you dug up? What have you seen? What's going on with Putin, with China? Are they with any of this stuff?
Uh, I really don't know. I mean, I haven't really been following it, to be honest. Do you
Mm,
know anything?
no. What I've heard though, what about did you see about the vaccines with Fauci and stuff?
No, what
With the
happened with
leaked
that?
emails? Nothing. The emails that leaked out, they were saying that Fauci possibly hid the emails that he was receiving, that the money that he was receiving, he was giving it to the Wuhan labs
Oh,
while it leaked out.
so
Meaning,
the
me-
Wuhan labs.
meaning
Yeah.
that the Wuhan leak could have possibly been seen as it's his fault in a way because they were receiving a lot of funding and they gave that funding to the Wuhan labs to play around with the coronavirus because they have
Hmm.
so much funding. And because of that, they messed up and it leaked out. And they got everybody infected and
So,
a bunch of people died. But then people went to Fauci for help. It's like going to the guy who, like, was responsible for freaking leaking this thing out.
so is Fauci a hero now?
Is he a hero now? Yeah, I think he was before. I mean, I don't think a lot of people give a crap about that, but it's a little bit disturbing.
Yeah, it seems like anything could be leaked out these days and nobody cares or nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand. Is it that it's like too much information that's going on, or what do you think? What the hell do you think the issue is?
Just people can't do anything about it. Nobody has the power.
How do we get the power?
You can't. It's too late. We're screwed.
There's no way we're screwed. We can still fight.
Yeah, but you're gonna fight for what?
Fight for what? Fight for freedom. Look at this. We're on the moon right now. We gotta fight for something.
You saw what happens the last time somebody fought for something. They just get arrested or something like that.
Who was that? Who was the last one you saw fight?
But for example, like the protesters, rallies, like the Trump supporters,
Hmm.
like there was a big number of people. They still didn't really accomplish anything. Like it's impossible.
Yeah, but then what do you do? Do you just bow down and accept your fate? You know what I mean? What do you do? Do you bow down to Hitler and the Nazis? Do you freaking not fight when it seems horrible and you can't and you're gonna lose?
Well, that's like up to more of someone that has a greater authority, I guess.
Hmm.
Like as an individual, you can't really do anything. Like it's when countries get involved, that's the only time that you could really fight for it. Like
I don't know. But don't you think there's like morals and the stuff that you hold dear and near to your heart? Like you were actually saying, you said that for you, what's very important is to try to keep working to create something to better humanity. So when you're not around,
yeah,
that you can possibly do, and that's something that you hold dear.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
So that, but
it's
you're
good
an
to.
individual, you know what I mean? You're an individual. Can't an individual make a big change? Like the guy who was standing in front of the tanks in China.
Yeah, an individual can make a big change. I mean, especially if you have a lot of money.
Hmm.
If you're somebody like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or somebody, you can definitely make a big change. But you need money for that. Money's power.
What do you think of Elon Musk and his whole going to Mars? Do you think he knows something that he's trying to escape Earth, or
We'll know
Do you
something
think?
about Mars.
Do you think he knows something about Mars? Is it like Total Recall where there's freaking alien art? Is it? I mean, you're laughing, but is it possible that how did humanity start? You know what I mean? Is it the people we're talking about? There's a bunch of different theories that meteorites actually brought the meteorites full of ice brought life to Earth. You know about that one?
Yeah, is that like where
The
there was a
comets just
previous
crashed.
civilization
Yeah, yeah.
on another planet, and like they were about to die, and then they shot out like something to Earth, I guess.
No,
It's possible.
there's one like that. Then there's another one where it was just the comet. There was a comet full of ice and it had microbes in it that were frozen and they crashed. It came from like a deep part of space that crashed into Earth.
Oh yeah, maybe
Began the
that could
goddamn
be too.
civilization.
I wonder where it came from, right?
Absolutely.
Like, where's the source of everything?
Well,
Like,
that's what
even
I'm
if
trying to
that
find out.
came from the comet, like, where the hell did the comet come from then?
Hmm.
You never know.
Even this, like, look at us. Look how we're communicating. This is like basically alien technology. I'm in a
Why?
different.
Oh,
This is the
yeah.
future. This is the future. Think about it. If we
It's
have
amazing
this
how everything works.
technology, if we have this technology, imagine the technology aliens might have. Probably control worlds and shit.
How come aliens haven't like came down and seen us yet, or have they? Like, how come we didn't run into them yet?
Because one, there's few reasons. Think about it. Why didn't we run into aliens? One, because they chose for us not to run into them. That would be the number one thing I would say. Because think about it. If they have all this technology to come here to do this, dude, who the hell even like they probably have invisibility. You seen Predator? Like they couldn't even see that guy, and he was freaking whacking people left and right.
Yeah,
Well, so the guy they chose not to see it.
I think somebody's asking you something. I think that's Zelly
What's going
in the
on there?
chat.
Is there a person there? Hold on.
He's did a lot of countries release UFO footage recently.
Let me see.
That's someone I asked.
Let me see. One sec. I'm sorry. Pull it up. What was the question? I could see that a lot. That
Didn't a
it's
lot of
just
countries
yeah.
release UFO footage recently?
They did. Yeah, they did release a lot of UFO footages, and that's the interesting thing about it. That
I haven't seen them yet. I wonder if it's realistic.
no, they yeah. I've seen them. They're saying that they're traveling at crazy speeds that people could barely even freaking like recognize. And they're saying it's not a drone. It's not like a freaking, you know what I mean? Like a regular drone. It's not a drone. It's not a comet. It's not a it's not, because it's not a comet and why it's not a missile too. It's because as it's flying, it changes direction mid-flight and then goes somewhere else. And then there's another one that hits the water and disappears and then
Mm.
backs up and appears somewhere else. This is alien technology. This is classic shit. This is classic shit that we learned and we saw in the movies. My only question is, are we gonna freaking be their slaves? Are they gonna take us in? You know, what can we learn from them? Would you want to meet an alien? If you had the opportunity, would you want to meet an alien?
Oh, definitely. Hell yeah.
Hmm.
I always wanted to be abducted by one.
Yeah. My friend, I remember Nick. He told me he got abducted by an alien when he was in fifth grade. No, I'm serious.
What?
No, I don't know if you know that. He said he was walking home one time. He was in the fifth grade, and that's the fucked up thing. I'm sorry, cursing, but that's the messed up thing. He said he was abducted, and he said the same thing. He said you're laughing, but he said, "Dude, I told my mom, my sister, everybody, and everybody just laughs at me." And it's freaky because it's like,
I don't
who's
believe it.
I don't know, but
Does he have
what?
any proof?
No, he of course he doesn't have any proof. But what is proof? What is proof? I've seen ball lightning. That's something that they said that doesn't exist, and I've seen it with my own eyes. When I was in the
Ball of
Delaware. Ball
lightning.
lightning. Ball lightning happens when a lightning strikes and it turns into a ball and it floats in the air in a ball of light and then blows up.
Mm.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I couldn't believe it. I remember I was trying to tell people. They thought I was crazy, and it's like, dude, I didn't have the camera. I can't tell you that. But look, with aliens in space, fucking, it's they had to come here. They had to come here. They had to visit. It's too big of a place.
Think they came here and then saw nothing interesting and left.
I don't know if they
crashed.
ever left. I don't know if they ever left.
Well, there's like a conspiracy that they crashed or something, right? The Roswell or something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
There's a
they
lot of
were
them.
dissecting the aliens, and something in Russia happened too.
In Russia, that's a big one. In Siberia in the early 1900s, um, they say a meteorite crashed. I don't know why a meteorite would do this. A meteorite crashed, wiped out all these trees, and it's been more than 100 years and nothing has grown since. So if a meteorite would crash in a forest in Siberia, thick forest, after 100 years, after a couple of years, the stuff would start
Hmm.
growing back right away, but nothing can grow in that area anymore. And it's not that it's like they try to do research on the soil and everything, and they can't figure out what the hell's going on there. So
Maybe
there's a
some kind of radiation.
no, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that they actually t
Yeah.
took samples of it. It could be maybe it's some sort of radiation that we don't even know or realize.
Well, wasn't it what's that guy's name, Bob Lazar or somebody that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was working in the Area 51 place, and he witnessed like some alien technology that like gave a lot of energy or was able to float something.
What was it? Was it the ability to float? I remember Bob Lazar was saying he worked in Area 51 and then they tried to shut him.
It was like some little elements, like a little piece of element that when it was placed in something, like it was able to like levitate the whole machine,
Hmm.
like part of the spaceship or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
And yeah, apparently he's still sticking to his story till this day.
yeah. And they said that his story hasn't really changed much. Look, but it's not even just him, but like I said, more and more footage with people having more and more phones, footage coming out of these alien craps going on, flying by and stuff. But what's really interesting, somebody proposed this theory. They were saying the reason also why we don't see aliens, possibility, is because all of them are drones, meaning that there's no humans in there, and not humans, I mean aliens. There's no aliens because they're not even sending, because of their technology so advanced, they don't even have well, an alien be in there. They're sending machines to do recon, like a probe,
Hmm.
like a little probe, boop, boop, boop. Like in our movies actually that we have, the futuristic movies where we use like the little probes, that fly around.
Yeah,
That's what they're sending because let's say it's just, what's the point? If the machine can do more than your body can, why would you send yourself? Meaning, if we could create a robot that jumps higher than us or does a bunch of shit, why would
so
we go
basically
there? It's a
the
waste
aliens
of
are all
time.
robots, right?
I would think so. And I
Yeah,
think that possibly we might be working towards that as well.
yeah. That brings that reminds me of an idea I had before, like all the futuristic, all the advanced like people in the future are going to be autistic
Hmm.
and emotionless, and they're not going to care about like art anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're just going to be like they're just going to be functioning there, like coexisting with each other, but just doing basic things to exist, and that's it.
Right. You were
There's not
saying
going to be no monetary system at all.
Yeah, you said because you don't think it's going to matter to have like personalities and stuff because everybody's going to be genetically modified. Everybody's going to look, well, maybe not look the same, but it's just going to be, yeah, it's good. The future's going to be
It's going to
insane,
be
dude.
100% communism, like functioning communism, because there's going to be no money involved, and everyone's just going to be performing their tasks, daily tasks, just to function in the world, and no one's going to care. No one's going to be jealous or have any envy towards each other, and it's just going to be like, yeah, basically like robots. We're not going
That's
to
going to
have
be
like,
crazy. There's not going to be any poor people, rich people. And think about it, like everybody's just going to be a freaking robot. And like we're going to have all the knowledge in our brain that we can.
right,
But what I
no
wonder is,
emotions, no nothing.
yeah, but then I don't think that's true though, because think about it. What's right, what's wrong, what knowledge is, it's very subjective. You know what I mean? It
Right.
varies very much on the person, on the individual. Like what's right and what's wrong, there's really no right and wrong. It depends on who sees it. So there are so many different truths, so we will vary it that way.
Yeah, somebody was asking about communism. the reason why I said that is because like communism, basically everybody's considered equal and everyone gets the same reward. So in the future, when everybody's basically autistic and has no emotions, no one's going to care about money. So nobody's going to have like value something more than somebody else.
Hmm.
So everyone's going to basically be equal in a sense. So that's when communism is basically gonna work without failure, like pure communism. And actually, when I say autistic, I think autism is actually like not a defect. It might actually be like something that's evolving from like people. So like in the future, there's gonna be even more autistic people as time goes on.
Yeah, you were saying because of technology and the social media and everything that in person, uh, like I guess being in person social, it's more rare, right? These days.
Right, that's another thing. Yeah, it's less social interactions, and people are getting they're getting more functional and smarter, but like less emotionally smart. So like autism is actually been is like kind of like the future of everybody.
Mm-hmm. What happened there? What the hell? What'd you do
I
with your
think
thing?
I'm just checking my battery. It said low battery in my phone.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I might die.
Plug it in.
See what happens. It's plugged in right now. Yeah, I just said low battery. I don't know why, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Continue on that. I thought that was an interesting.
yeah. So like people think that autism comes from like one of the theories is for men that are just have older sperm or something, and it could actually be like something else. I don't really believe that it's that, but it could actually be like yeah, like an evolutionary thing that's going on
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah. Um, what else were we talking about? Yeah, aliens freaking coming down, man. I mean, I think they visited us here. Think about it. We've been around for a long time, you know. There's
Yeah,
been freaking there had to be at least maybe even before maybe like because think about what we started just recording stuff for the last how long? Last 100 years?
yeah, not so long.
Humans have been around for what, like 100,000 years or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't it funny that like all the religious leaders
Hmm.
uh came to exist before we had all this recording technology?
Yeah.
All the prophets, all the gods, and everything. They were quite well known, like before all this stuff.
Well, a lot of people are saying that a lot of the gods, the Egyptian gods, actually, if you look at some of the hieroglyphs, they look like aliens. It looks like alien beings and alien ships landing, you know?
Yeah, like the pyramids are all like made by aliens too.
Yeah. That they're aligned with the stars and stuff.
It is interesting though, like how people built that. I mean, that thing is humongous. The,
In the
the
middle of the
pyramid.
desert.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with a lot of time and work, but it's great. It's still pretty amazing
Yeah.
that that was accomplished like so long ago.
Yeah. And they said that they have a lot of other what is it, the Bekli Tepe or something like that? It's like a huge uh freaking ancient city or something in Turkey, right? They said that that might have
I'm
been
not,
built by ancient civilizations or something like that. That was like the
not
first
familiar with
civilization,
that.
and that yeah, that dates back to like I think like 10,000 years, and this is confirmed 10,000 years before the freaking pyramids.
What
10,000
about
years
Atlantis,
before. Yeah.
the civilization that's on the water?
Oh yeah. Well, Atlantis, they said that they think Atlantis was it's somewhere in the Adriatic over there, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there.
Hmm.
Like Italy is between like Italy and Greece, right there. That they said because of the rising and the lowering of the sea levels. Do you know what was it? back, I think, what was it, like 100,000 years ago, where there was like hunters and gatherers, the sea level was, what was it? I think it was lower by like 100, uh, like freaking hundreds of feet lower.
Yeah. So do you think? Yeah, I guess the
Yeah.
water rose, but I don't know if it rose that much. It's kind of hard to believe it rose that much. Cover an entire city. I
Yeah,
mean, it's possible.
of course, cities
That
come and
was
go all
that.
the time.
Does that date back to the ancient Greece?
Yep.
The uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah. Nobody found it yet though.
Oh, do me a favor, if anybody says anything like that, let me know, because if anything, I'm gonna get pissed.
Yeah, there's this one guy named Alcazelli
Oh, okay.
that's saying a bunch of things here. He said he heard the first recording was a Hitler speech, and so aliens would see all of that first. I'm not sure what he's talking about there.
Well, you know what is interesting though about Nazis and stuff? Did you notice that they were fascinated with the occult? The swastika? I didn't even notice. I saw a documentary on YouTube about Himmler and everything. They were super into the occult, witchcraft, and like the Norse gods, and like trying to channel aliens and spirits and stuff. It was insane.
Yeah, I think he was saying that the first recording was a Hitler speech, like the first very recording of anything.
That's not true. That was 1940 something. The first recording's probably in like the 1800s. Audio
But
recording of it.
the first ever recording of radio signals leaving the Earth and travel. Our radio signals that left the Earth and travel. That's what he said. I don't know.
But
But
think about how different the Earth is and how much we changed in the last 100 years. Like Jesus Christ, can you imagine if just 100 years is really nothing? And think about how much we changed as a world. Well, meaning in Europe and America. I mean, shit. I was talking with Zelly yesterday. I was saying yesterday. That's the one thing that drives me crazy is this. Look, people keep saying this. They're like, look how civilized we are. Look how advanced we are, right? As a humanity and as a human race. But I'm like, dude, what are you guys talking about? They're still killing people in Africa for witchcraft. They're still killing for being witches, you know? And people are like, look how much we came as humanity. It's like, dude, as a humanity as a whole, we're still not that far ahead, man.
yeah, I don't know. I guess you could kind of relate that to. Well, I'm not sure, but like, I don't know. Do you believe in like evolution?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I wonder like if you could compare like a modern human to like somebody only like maybe 1,000, 2,000 years ago, like how different would they be? Like it's like something you
Jesus.
probably won't
That'd be
like
so
think that
cool.
they're much different, but they probably are,
You
like
probably wouldn't even
physically
recognize
and
them. They would look like an animal,
yeah.
like a caveman. But how cool would it be? Imagine if you could like observe hunters and gatherers like walking around. Holy crap, dude.
Or even somebody like from the Renaissance. Like you probably
Mhm.
even notice little things about them that's like just off,
Oh
like
yeah,
compared to
exactly. It's
today.
not, dude. It's not like Game of Thrones where they're like showing it like that. Hell no. These, it's like must have been crazy, dude. They said the people in the Renaissance. They said the farmers. They like wouldn't leave their house. They would. I mean, they would work on the farm their whole life and they wouldn't even know anything.
Hmm.
They said they couldn't even hold a conversation. Like the men woke up, they went to work, and they said if you came up to the farmer and asked him like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" or something, he's like, "Think." He's like, "What the hell's think?" He's like, "I just do." He just worked. If you even
I'm
ask
sure
him
you can find
anything,
farmers now like that are like that too,
yeah,
especially in third world countries.
yeah, probably. Yeah. But you were saying
Yeah,
there was a lot of mind expanding substances that were being used in Asia, right? Like DMT and stuff. What do you think is up with that? Is that legit that you see the everybody talks about it? Have you had any experience with DMT and seeing any aliens and stuff? Or think that you came into spirits in a different dimension? Is that real?
I heard that Moses came in contact with God from a burning bush that gave off DMT,
Mm-hmm.
and he that's how he spoke to God. So like when you're on DMT, I guess you have access to this other world that's really hard to understand unless you're you're basically high on DMT.
But how do you know it's a different world? Is it
Well,
an actual different world? Is like the doors open, you're like, holy crap, this is not just a high. Like you're not
yeah.
just
Well,
high.
first, like you got to get through like this breakthrough experience. It's called, and if you don't get through it, you're just waiting at the gates. And then once you break through, like whatever you see there is completely different from reality. You run into these things called entities. There's like all different sorts of them. Um, and they're kind of like, I guess you could say they're kind of like gods or something like that.
Hmm.
And you see a bunch of different shapes and colors, lots of different geometry, and it really it is a mind opening experience because it gives you a sense that there's more to what we know, to the reality that we know, and gives you like an impression that there's some sort of spiritual world out there, that there's a possibility.
Hmm.
So if for a person that doesn't believe in spiritual stuff or doesn't believe in God or something like that, it could help expand their mind into and give them a perspective that they're not used to, for sure.
But even if, like, let's say it is a new perspective that you're not used to, how do you know it isn't just that you're just hallucinating because you smoke DMT and this isn't an actual portal or a hole that you're traveling through? How do you know that this is like, is there, I mean, there obviously isn't, so it's like a leap of faith. Yes, right? It's the same thing with religion. It's like you either believe it or you don't.
Yeah, I mean, there is no way to tell. I mean, it is a hallucinogen,
Hmm.
and that's what it's classified scientifically. But um, like it's really based on belief, I guess. Like they say, it opens up your third eye.
Yeah, the chakras, you
Um,
got to cleanse those.
yeah, so I mean, you don't really know. You can't. It could just be. It could all just be in your head. Maybe not.
Hmm.
You know. I mean, what do you think is like a dream? Like when you dream, what do you think that is? Is that all in your head, just your head, or could it
I,
be something else?
I don't know, but it's interesting. It's like, dude, you don't sleep enough, you're gonna go crazy and you're gonna die if you don't sleep enough. And if you don't sleep enough, you not only do you go, I mean, that's the big thing. Yeah, you go crazy. You start hallucinating. You know, what's that though? What's hallucinating without sleeping? Is that like, are you in reality or are you communicating? Are you communicating with a different entity in a different world? Or is your brain just messed up and it's misfiring and it's having these errors because you haven't slept and it's not working properly. So is that what DMT is doing too when you're on it? It's just not working properly because it's poisoned, you know?
Yeah, it pretty much like scrambles your brain, like the normal activity of your brain.
Hmm.
So that distortion, I guess, kind of lets you see um, things from a different perspective.
And I think that's very important in life. Like I said, dude, since the beginning of time, man has been taking substances to stop the routine, stop the flow, to open up himself, to drag him out of the monotony of everyday life, you know?
Yeah, especially when you're older, like it's really hard
Oh
to
yeah,
snap your mind out of the same routine
dude.
and just
Days fly by like fucking minutes, when you get older.
right,
It's
right,
crazy, it's scary. It's like what 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. It's like what the hell is that, man?
right. That's why something like that could actually help because it snaps you out of
But for how
that same
long?
pattern.
But how long does it snap you out for? That's the sad part. It snaps you out long enough
Yeah,
until
no,
boom, you fall back in. So you got to switch it up. You got to stay aware.
yeah, you got to do all
Yeah.
these other things
Yeah.
that you mentioned before,
Hmm.
such as meditation and all that.
There was an experiment that they ran in colleges. What they did, the experiment failed miserably because the students got too freaked out. This is really cool. They made these students, they were asking them, how aware are you of the present moment and actually being in the moment? Like right now, I just said it, I'm looking around and I'm seeing things that I never really saw, like, let's say, like the grains on the wood. I'm actually looking at the phone and the details on the phone. I'm looking at these small little details that you don't even look at. And that's like a big thing, I think, what makes time go by faster. So with this experiment, what they did is they told the students, I want you every 30 seconds to tell yourself, am I aware right now? I mean, to
Hmm.
ask yourself, am I aware right now? And as you say it, you become aware and you look around and you notice a couple of things. And they wanted them to do it for like several weeks or something. The people like they couldn't do it. It was like freaking them out too much because it was putting them into I guess, a state of awareness. And I think that's why when you get older, you're not paying attention because your body doesn't want you to pay attention. That's the thing. We want to. It's like the same thing. Everybody wants to have a bunch of muscles. They want to be jacked, and like let's say they want their body to do things that it doesn't do. Because your body's like, no, I'm not gonna freaking build a bunch of muscle. Because why would I build a bunch of muscle? It's just gonna take extra calories. You don't
Hmm.
need that muscle, so you have to work out and put in a lot of work to actually get it.
Right. The brain is too comfortable, doesn't want to
Yeah.
change anything.
The brain is too comfortable, and your brain is like, why would I burn extra calories when I'm a pattern recognizing machine? Because that's what the body is. We recognize patterns, and your body just wants to be comfortable and lazy, and it just repeats.
Yeah, I think it's not only just mine, it's the DNA. It's like the
One
DNA of
second, I got a
life.
phone call. 1 second, hold on, I got a call coming in.
Hmm.
Yo, what's going on? Yo, you want to go on? You want to go on or no? Hold on a second. Oh, I don't know how I can get you on. You got Skype? I'll call you later then. I'll call you later. I'm sorry. Can't put you on right now. Later. Jesus. Oh man, I'm freaked out. Rob just called me saying
Yeah.
got bad news, said I had a horrible dream about you. He's like, I gotta tell it to you. Couldn't put him on.
Really.
He doesn't have Skype. I don't know. I wonder what happened.
Somebody
I'm
wants you to
freaked out.
link the experiment article.
Which one?
Somebody in the chat is asking
Okay.
to link the experiment article.
Let me see.
Um,
College
no.
experiment.
What I was saying before about the DNA, I think it's basically just the essence of life. It's just to survive for as long as you can, and all the DNA does is just constantly mutate to our surroundings and reproduce. And like, if the reproduction is successful, it basically means that the current like parameters of the DNA is good for now.
I'll link it. I'm sorry. I'll link it in the. I can't. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna spend time looking. I tried to do a quick one, the awareness experiment. I couldn't find it. I'll try to research it, find it, link it in the next. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go. What was it? What were you saying? Sorry, interrupting.
I was just saying like the essence of life, and like relating to like how like being comfortable, the brain being comfortable, not wanting to change. It's basically, and the reason is like for like when you're older, it's basically because when you're already older, you're already at that age where you probably would have already passed on your DNA, reproduced, and so now it's like up to your offspring to adapt to like the possible new environment, possible new surroundings, and if they are able to survive, they'll pass on their DNA, and it's just that's basically all it is. Like, it's just DNA that's constantly mutating in order to survive, to adapt to its surroundings of the unknowingness of the world.
No, exactly. It's freaking weird, man. It's a weird trip. I mean, dude,
Yeah,
sometimes I feel like I'm in such a routine. I feel like I'm just watching a movie and I'm not even there. That's like freaky. I'm like, dude, it's like this is like a movie. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
some days,
You're
it's like
just existing now. That's it.
I blink through days. Some days, then some days I'm not even aware. That like freaks me out. Some days I just go through a whole day, and then next thing I know, it's like Friday again, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, it was just Monday. I'm like, what? I'm like, how the hell did I not like? How was I not aware? I'm like, and like freaks me out. Like it's like, and it happens at like the weirdest times where like I'm on the toilet and just randomly I'll be like, I'll be aware that I've like missed like weeks or months, and this never used to happen to me when you're young. That's why I was saying the interesting thing is, well, actually, you said you never thought about it, but it's like that's why young people, they're so emotional. They commit suicide more, and they're so emotional with the first love and the first kiss and all of this, because to them, their time perception is so much slower, and they give a shit so much more because to them it's the only life that they know, you know? We know fucking, I'm like what, like 30 something. So I know like 30 years of different lives. These kids, they don't really know anything, you know? So for them it's like the only life that they know. So they don't understand that it's going to be all right, life continues. And on top of that, the perception of time is super slow. That's why old people, you see old people at the store, they don't give a shit what they wear. They go in, they just like piss and shit their pants. They don't fucking give a shit. Imagine if you were in high school and you pissed your pants in front of somebody, in front of your friends even. You'd be embarrassed. It would kill you. Dude, now if I'm at work, if I shit myself at work, you know what? I might not even go home. I'll just wipe the shit off and continue working because I wouldn't care. I couldn't imagine being like that at 14, you know? Or another interesting thing is, look, with babies and children, think about this. Think about this. If you ever hung out with a baby will cry, laugh, get angry, and then do something else in a matter of like, let's say 5 minutes, right? All those emotions.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're hanging out with a person that's our age and they do all of that? I would be like, okay, I'm gonna back up slowly, call 911. We're putting this guy in the nut house. If a person in 5 minutes starts laughing, then he's crying, then he's angry, I'm like, this is insane. But think about it, when those kids are doing that to them, their time perception, that when they go from crying to laughing, like 100 years passed in our time, you know? Each day
Yeah.
each day is an adventure. That's why why do you think everybody talks about my childhood memories? When I was a child, I was like this. When you look at the actual time of when you were a kid, what is it? It's like from six, the biggest memories are from like five, let's say from 5 to 10. Those are the huge ones. It's only 5 years. I could write like, dude, I can write a bunch of books on how much stuff I did in those 5 years, but in reality, it's probably not that much. That's like the freaky thing. When I see kids that are like young, they're like 5 years old, I'm looking at them, I'm like, dude, I'm like, for them, the time must be going really slow. So when I talk to them, I like do something like really nice to them, and I'm like, damn, I wonder if they're always gonna remember that. They're like, I remember when you did this. I'm like, dude, that was just like one day. That's nothing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's a mistake that we're living this long. Maybe we weren't really meant to be living this long. That's why we're basically rotting. Like our minds are just rotting as we get older.
No way, dude. I'm telling you, the sad thing is like that we got to keep working all the time, and everybody's addicted to uppers, like caffeine. I think caffeine totally speeds
Well,
up
that's
the
what we
time.
want. That's what like the little piece of in the brain of that's us. That's what we want.
Well, we're
But
addicted to caffeine. Listen, look, we're overworked, we undersleep, and we want everything. And the best thing is that little cup of Joe in the morning. It's gonna make it better, but then the anxiety levels shoot right up. Because I've no,
somebody's disagreeing with me, yeah,
I've noticed
in
that.
the chat.
Who? What are they saying?
Well, they didn't say that. New research, we could live long and good. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with that. But I'm just saying, uh, biologically wise, maybe we're not meant to live that long because we already will pass the age that we could reproduce, and we're just maybe up to the age that we could raise kids, and that's it. I mean, there's a reason why we reach like women reach menopause.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like right now. I feel like we're extending our lives, but it's only because we're intelligent enough to do that. But
I think, but
yeah, so,
I think that's why it's really important to maintain as much of you know, mental health and physically be active and all of this. So when you do reach that age, that you're still able to enjoy it somehow. So it's like, dude, you know how
yeah,
many people I see that are like let's say in their 40s. There's like those old, well, we live in like I grew up in an Asian neighborhood, but there's like those old Chinese dudes. They do the Tai Chi to work out, and they're like 90 or something. And they're in better shape than a lot of other people we saw in their 40s. So it's like they took the time, they sacrificed their time to get into that shape. But it's like it
mhm,
seems like they're living like a life that I'd want to live. You know what I mean? Because it's like they're still able to take care of themselves. They look like mentally they're all there still. you know? And to me, that's like the scary thing.
No.
Mentally not being there, having Alzheimer's, and sometimes I feel like I already have Alzheimer's because of how fast the time is going. I wonder if that's like a part, if that's what happens with Alzheimer's. If that's like what Alzheimer's is, it's like the time perception keeps going by, the years keep flowing. Dude, I'm only in my 30s. I can't imagine if it keeps speeding up, and I know it will. Like, dude, if I'm in my 80s, I'll probably be sitting in a nursing home just rocking back and forth like, hey, Sonny. And just time's like flowing, years are going by like this, and they're like, what's wrong with him? They're like, oh, too much time, too much time. I'm
Well,
like,
what I think could extend life is like if you take, for example, those guys that you're talking about that are in good shape.
mm-hmm.
Uh, if you would take like a male and have them, it's interesting that the men can still have kids even when they're like 90.
Yeah.
So if you would take one of those people that are in great shape, at the age of 90, and have them have kids, there's a possibility a mutation could occur that could extend life, for like a new generation. Like maybe his kid will live to like, easily to like 90.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if that cycle continues, eventually they could reach 120, like the biological clock would just be naturally extended that way.
Dude, you know what else? Dude, you know that those people that they say that they have that like photographic memory, they remember everything. Do you think their time perception is slower because they remember everything? It has to be, right? Because they
Yeah,
remember
that's
everything.
interesting. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that,
that's a good theory.
how crazy is that, dude? Imagine those guys every day for them is like you when you were like 5. So for them, it's like, dude, like, oh my God, can you imagine if they have like a crappy job? So they're at work, they're like, yo, this sucks, and they remember everything. Because think about it,
Up
that's
to what,
probably,
like, for how long do
but
they have
holy
that?
crap, holy shit, dude, oh my God, dude, holy shit, that has to be it. Because think about it, what I was saying before, oh, dude, I got freaked out. Think about what I was saying before. It's
Hmm.
like, how do you slow down time right now? You know how you slow it down? Start being aware of it. Name 10 things right
Right.
now in your room, like in your head or anything. Just recognize a pattern, a color, something like that. That
Well, yeah,
slows down the time.
there's memory techniques, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are memory techniques to like memorize things. So maybe that's something if you do every day and you improve your memory, that could actually slow down time too. Yeah, yeah. So
But that's
that's
probably
actually a
what
pretty
it,
good idea.
dude, I think that's what it is. Holy crap. Think about it. When you're called zoned out, what is it? You're not aware, you're just flowing, right?
Hmm.
The people
Right.
who remember everything, I guarantee they're not zoned out because they remember everything. So for them, holy crap, dude, that's sick. So for them, they're like a kid. Damn, you
Yeah.
bastards.
I've been playing chess recently, and like I noticed like my memory kind of gotten better, and like I've been
Yeah,
like, time kind of slowed down a bit, just from playing chess every day.
I'm doing something new.
Just one or two games.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe like something that like kind of like exercises your brain, like helps out something in your memory or something like that.
Said a big thing to do for Alzheimer's is if you learn a second language in your later adulthood, not if you learned it when you're a kid, it's not going to affect it as much. You have to learn a new language when you're older. Like let's say when
Yeah,
like
it's tough.
Alzheimer's is beginning. Yeah, exactly. But that's why they recommend it to learn it when you're older, because if you learn it when you're young, it doesn't. But I guess that's why it's like
Yeah,
work. It makes sense too because it's like, look, if how do you get big muscles? You work out. Your brain is a muscle, right? So if you don't work out, it's gonna atrophy, just like the muscles do. Just like anything, our
right.
body doesn't want to like. That's the sad thing. It's like we want to be aware, we want things, and our body's like, hell no, we don't want to be aware, dude. Make it go faster. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Bye bye. We're out. All right, we're 90 done. I'm like, no, I want to be aware. Your body doesn't understand that. We can't communicate. How do we reach that communication between the body and the mind? Can it
Yeah,
even be
it's a
done?
constant struggle, constant fight.
Can it even be
You
done
gotta.
though?
I think it can. Yeah, but if you have the willpower,
Mm.
if you makes yourself do these things every day,
Tell you doing? You checked
can
on your
definitely
little
help.
battery? Scared? Nervous? Your little Tesla battery in there? Jesus. God.
Yeah, but nobody knows the cause of Alzheimer's yet. There's a lot
Didn't
of theories as to
didn't you
why,
say
but
it's called diabetes 3 or something like that?
yeah, yeah, it's there's a theory that it's related to insulin resistance. So It's like basically the diabetes of the brain.
Hmm. That's what it's called, right? The
So the
diabetes of the
yeah.
brain. It's going to be
So
called diabetes 3 or something.
so when like brain cells die, basically when anything in your body dies, they release toxins. Like the cells release toxins, and they cause damage to the surrounding tissue,
Hmm.
and that triggers your immune system to cause inflammation, and possibly maybe that's where the amyloid plaque is coming from. That's causing Alzheimer's. That's found in the brains of Alzheimer individuals. Is that like maybe
And
that's
what
sort
is
of kind of
that?
like
What
a
is
like
that?
a like a
It's just
scar
plaque?
tissue.
Oh, okay.
It's plaque, yeah, but maybe
Gotcha.
maybe it's kind of like a scar tissue that the body's trying to like replace with trying to replace healthy tissue with that, and maybe that ongoing process is just it leads to so much plaque that neurons aren't able to communicate anymore, and it just leads to that degradation of the mind.
Mhm. But that, dude, think about it. That's the crazy thing when we're talking about time perception being aware. Like, what the hell is in the mind of somebody with Alzheimer's? Is it just like, dude, that's so freaky. Like, what the hell is it? Can you imagine if you're in their mind? Like, what are they thinking?
It's really scary because I think they're still able to kind of think to themselves, but they're not able to communicate with other people. So people might think you're in a vegetative state,
Hmm.
and but you're still all there. You're just not able to communicate at some point of this, at some stage of that disease.
So it's like almost a
Uh,
stroke.
yeah, I had a personal experience with a relative, and then it was pretty it was scary to see something like that.
In the state where they were in, were they like still all aware, or like, it's like it degenerates, right?
Yeah, well, basically, like uh, you would think that the person's not there
Hmm.
because they're not able to move, they're not able to talk, and they rarely show any emotion. But like in the rare moment that I seen this person, they actually a tear came down their eyes, and I haven't seen this person since childhood.
Hmm.
So I mean, you could pretty much guess that it may be related to seeing me,
Dude.
and nobody knew that that's even possible. Like the nurse and other relatives that have been seeing this person daily,
Hmm.
they didn't know that this person was still there to that point where they're able to process a thought and have some sort of emotion show. So yeah, it's kind of like being in prison in your own body. I guess it's pretty scary.
That's horrible. Dude, I remember I had a
Yeah.
scary experience. I remember when I was freaking taking care of this person. This person had a stroke, and I was still young. This person had a stroke, and they were like in their, I think, mid 30s or something.
Hmm.
And when I went to take care of them, I didn't know who I was gonna get to take care of. When I take care of them, this person was like, I had a family, I had a house, I had my whole life ahead of me, and they were like pretty young. And I'm like, dude, what the hell happened to you? And this person's like, one day I was walking down the street and my head started hurting. Then I fell down. I went to the hospital. Now I had a stroke. And they were telling me while they were laying in bed and their bodies paralyzed and only like one side of the face is moving and they can barely move their hand. And then they had a wooden spoon to like press buttons with like the hand because the hand could only move this much. And then they would like freaking go to the bathroom on themselves. Everything was crazy.
They're lucky it wasn't worse. It could have been a lot worse than that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
dude,
a
that's pretty
pretty frightening
bad.
sight. Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty freaking bad, man. It's crazy.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
Strokes are no
What happens
jokes.
what happens to the human mind? You know, what happens to the human mind in space? I wonder that. I wonder that. How do astronauts act? Because like, what the hell? The other bastards were saying that they saw aliens outside in space. They were saying that they saw aliens, and these are the only few people that were out there. Do we
Hmm.
question them? Is it old age? Are they crazy? Are they looking for money, for fame? Why would they say stuff like that?
Which people are you talking
Buzz
about?
Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin was one of them that was saying
Um,
it. He was saying that he
well,
saw
they
like stuff on, I think, the
they
dark.
said that like right after their trip, right? Like they didn't say that later on, did they? I'm not
Ah,
sure.
No, I'm not sure. Could have been, yeah. Could have been, yeah, early on. I think it was early on. Dude, you know what I
Yeah,
always wonder
that is
too?
interesting.
You know what I always wonder? It's like, dude, nobody talks about this, but what the hell? In space, there has to be like space creatures out there. You know what I mean? Like space dragons or something like that. Why is it like people are like, oh, did we find life on a different planet? I'm like, what about in space? Dude, what if there's like,
Space,
yeah, what about in space?
maybe.
There's like space dragons and stuff, good space, like whatever the hell can survive in space. Why the hell did nobody talks about this? Everybody's like, I wonder if there's life on the planet. I'm like, dude, I wonder if there's life in space, like fucking stuff just flying through space.
I don't know. It's probably not likely, but
What? Why not? You know how big space is?
yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of requirements for life. I don't think something could just be floating around and has like everything it needs to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like on
Yeah,
a comet or something.
dude, that'd be sick. You know what I always wondered too? That age-old question: why is there something as opposed to nothing? It keeps me up at night.
Yeah, that is a good one.
It's such a good one. Like, dude, it's like, why is there? Okay, let's you have life, this and this, but why is there this? Like, what the hell is this? Like, what the hell is this? What am I doing? I'm making noises with my mouth, and we're like looking at each other and talking, and then we're gonna be dead one day, and then that's it. And then look, we're gonna go through life, have family, friends, this, parties, hey, hey. Then eventually, one by one, we're all gonna start dying, and then after that, with our culture, we're gonna ignore that people are dying. We're gonna be sad for a few days, but nobody's gonna fucking talk about it. That's like the weirdest. It's like people are just gonna drop dead, and it's like, dude, what happened to Bob? Fucking dead. Like
The
Jesus, so
only thing
what?
I
They're
could
like
think of
Jesus,
is
so what do you?
that,
They're like Jesus, so what do you think? What he died? Like, what's the point of life? It's like nobody ever talks about the dying process. It's so weird. Everybody talks about the birthing process. I had a baby. He's having a baby, eh? But it's like when people are dying, it's like, yo, he died. Like nobody talks about it. Everybody's like fucking sitting around, like, dude, because everybody's like freaked out and shit. It's like it's gonna be our turn. Like,
yeah.
think about it. This one day, yeah, right now, listen, you're relaxed, you're having fun, you're relaxed, your anxiety's low. One day you're gonna be laying there and you're gonna be like taking that breath, like you're gonna be looking through this fucking TV that you're not aware of, and you're gonna be looking
hmm
one if you're lucky too. Because some days, shit, you might be, dude.
And
Something might just, I might be driving to work and something might happen, and it's over, and that's it. I'm like, I wasn't ready. I might be driving to work. Look, tomorrow's Tuesday. I might be driving to work. I'm like, just a regular day, and then out of nowhere, life is like, you know what? Let me send this fucking truck into him. Boom, blows up. It's over. Never even had a shot. I wasn't ready. I want to go again. Guess what? There is no again. It's over, and it's over forever. In this life, it's done. The fuck?
well, do you believe in faith or a destiny, or do you believe in free will?
Free will. No, hell yeah, I believe in free will. I believe in free will, dude. I think, why I was talking to you was I think that there is nothing, obviously nothing happens when you die and stuff, especially because, um, I was saying because a lot of people do believe it, but also that people think that like we're required an explanation too. It's like, what do you think happens after you die? I'm like, you know what? We made up that word. What do you think happens? In the actual space time in life, there is no what do you think? It just is, It's like the same thing. Why did this happen to me? Why is this bad? Why did Hitler kill a bunch of people and then he got off scot-free
Yeah,
basically by blowing his brains out? It's like, dude, he blew his brains out, but he killed millions. It's like he got away scot-free. That's it. And it's like there is no explanation because life doesn't require it, it doesn't require it. But
right.
we as human beings, we made this shit up. So that's why we're like, well, I think that there's a soul, a spirit in this. It's because we think that while we're alive. We're alive. We're gone. It's over, motherfucker. You just want it to go on. Listen, trust me, dude, you don't think I want to? You think I want to
Yeah,
be pushed? Dude, you think I want to fucking push this? You don't think I'd love to be like, hell yeah, we're gonna keep going and going. But dude, the shit is just, I'm sorry, I'm like a fucking accountant. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, look, we can't afford it. The shit is not adding up. People are like, yeah, but me, they're like desperate, like, yeah, but maybe there's like an afterlife or something. There's spirits. I'm like, all right. How many spirits we got? We got right now 5 we got 7 billion people alive, and before we had 1 million people alive. So what are we just printing new spirits? Like, all right, so that shit's out of the book. We're not having fucking afterlife and reincarnation. Because what, just more spirits are being turned up? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Just,
I agree with you that like life is pretty raw and everything's pretty random. But I lean more towards like a faith or a plan, like a destiny, because it kind of like it goes back to like um, the essence of like the creation of everything. Like if you think of like the Big Bang Theory,
hmm
and there's a cause and effect, and everything started out from like something small and just grew and grew and grew and got more complex.
hmm
And basically, it's all like collision based. Everything collided into each other, and each collision created more collisions, and and the result of each collision was due to a previous collision. So if you just keep going down that path, it's going to lead to every single moment in history,
hmm
no matter like how complex it is. Like everything has like a cause behind it,
But
and
what's that feeling then?
every thought that you have is a result of something firing in your brain,
hmm
and due to like every single factor in the environment currently, everything that you ate, every thought that you had previously, every breath that you took, and everything is basically just influencing what you're gonna say next. So it's basically like you're not even in control. You may think you're in control. That's why I kind of think that free will is just an illusion,
hmm
which it's a great illusion because it feels good to think that you're in control, and that's basically what we're always fighting for is to be in control, and it feels good to be in control. Like basically like what you said before, uh, that you're always trying to do something that's out of the ordinary to kind of remind yourself that you're in control.
Oh, me? Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Oh, like I was saying, but like, yeah.
we're all just products of chemical reactions, and I think our actions are also products of that,
hmm
and that's why I lean towards that free will is just an illusion, and that everything is basically kind of like a movie being played back.
Yeah.
We're just kind of like living in the moment, the current
Not even
position,
really.
time, and space.
And not even really living in
Yeah,
the moment that much. I mean, like, dude, not even living that much in the moment. Like right now, it's like I'm freaking Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. It's the same. It's
to the
the
best
same
we can,
routine.
to the best we can perceive it.
And the movie, you know what it is? It's like the same thing. Listen to the same song 100 times. The first time you hear it, you really heard it. Then by the 50th time, you're zoned out. That's what life is. That's the
Yeah,
analogy of life. If a young kid's like, how come old people they don't give a shit and they're just grumpy? I'm like, all right, listen to this song once. I'm like, that's you. And then lock them in a room, make them listen to it 100 times. I'm like, did you hear that song the 99th time that played? Like, not really. Like, all right, that's me.
yeah,
Blow their fucking mind.
yeah. I mean, being in control gives you comfort. Thinking that you don't have any control and makes you kind of uncomfortable and makes you feel more meaningless and worthless. But I feel like if you kind of think that, if you kind of accept it and try to make the best out of it, it's not so bad.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, look, there's nothing you can do. This sand clock, the sand is leaving the hourglass fucking thing, and there's nothing you can do to
Yeah,
stop it. There's enough. That's the crazy thing. Look, we're all talking, but there's nothing you can do. It's gonna end. It will end. I mean, there's not. We're done unless aliens come down or we come up with some crazy stuff that can
yeah.
do something.
There's like a 0.0001% chance of like maybe someone like finding a way to extend life or something. But
Dude, you're not gonna get it. That's the sad thing. Is like
yeah,
they're
I
gonna
mean,
get
yeah,
it. You won't. The rich guy will. You won't.
oh yeah, that's for sure. Like the rich people will definitely get it first.
And that's the thing. You know what was weird too? I remember somebody was telling me about this where it actually was a great. They were saying like, oh, when I die, I always want to be remembered. But then somebody said like, dude, why are you so concerned about that? Who gives a shit if like your family, anybody remembers you? They're like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
So you want to be remembered. They're like, how long are you going to be remembered for? They're like, okay, you're going to be remembered by what? Let's say your kids. Okay. And your grandkids? Okay. What about their grandkids? They're like, they're gonna be a story that people hear once in a while. Then their grandkids, they might see a picture of you or hear a little story. But this is like, and then in like what, like in 50 years after you're dead, nobody's gonna remember you. So what the fuck you worried about?
right?
What are you
Yeah,
worried
to some
about?
people, it's important.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yes, people want to feel like their life was worthwhile.
But what I'm saying in that 50 years, it's gonna be meaningless. You know what I mean? Or like
Yeah,
a
it will.
hundred years even. Dude, even
I
any
mean,
like,
even the gods, like from like the ancient Greek times, or the mythology, all of that was at some point extremely meaningful to people.
oh hell yeah.
And now it's like nobody really cares about it anymore. So
Yeah.
everything basically goes away with time.
Yeah, dude, time is the killer of everything, man. It'll kill
Yeah,
you if not ready, and I always try to fight it. I always try to be aware. Recommend meditation. Meditation can definitely put you back in the present moment, but it's a battle you have to fight every single day, and it's such a hard thing to do.
yeah. Everything's a balance. Like there's one side, there's two sides to everything, and kind of like what you said before. Why is there nothing opposed to something? And I think
Hmm.
it's. I mean, every time I'm always concluding to myself that it's just a balance, and there's a side where there's nothing, and there's a side where there's something, and
Right.
it's always alternating,
Hmm.
and then just two different energies.
Dude, yo, no, I just thought, holy crap. Yo, imagine somewhere in those stars, there's another dude doing a podcast with another alien dude, and they're like talking about the same stuff. They're like, yo, you think that there's like something out there? And they're like all like pissed off that they're gonna die. They're like, yo, life sucks.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned before. I don't know who mentioned the original idea, but that the reason why we haven't run into aliens is because we're basically just so far away,
Yep, yep, yep. And
and
it's not only that,
you know,
I can tell you, I forgot, damn it. I think it was, I don't know if it was like Neil deGrasse Tyson or somebody, damn it, but it was done in such a beautiful way. I'll try not to mess it up, but what they were saying is like somebody was asking like, "Oh, how come we weren't visited by aliens or whatnot?" So what
mm,
they were saying is imagine space and time being the size of like let's say, hold on, like let's say the television set that you're on, right?
mm,
One corner of the television set in what here, can I use my hand? Oh, okay, hold on, wait, I'm an idiot. I can draw it. Dude, I'm so, oh my God. Dude,
mhm,
I'm like, instead of, all right, so look, there's like a box here, right? So that's space inside a box. Even though space is forever and time is forever, but let's just pretend it's for, let's just pretend it's trapped in this box. So at one corner here, this is us at this time, freaking 2021, Earth at 2021, whatever that means. 2021 doesn't even mean anything. It's a point and an area that we're in. And a
yeah,
100 billion years ago, right over here, there was life, and it was stuff, and they went through wars, and then they went extinct. And then fucking 100 trillion years ago, there was another area right next to us. Let's say there's a space even now, like there's intelligent life here, but we're so far apart that by the time we would get there, they already went extinct. You know what I mean? And they're saying because it's
mm,
forever, we could have been in the same place even. It could have been like Earth and another thing, and it's like 100 billion years separates that, you know? and
yeah.
and it goes on forever. That's the thing with the Big Bang. What I think is the Big Bang has just been going on forever and ever, even though other people are saying that supposedly it hasn't, which is interesting. Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying that actually it's saying that it's speeding up the expansion of space and time. It's
Expansion.
actually,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, it's saying that it's speeding up, but I have a theory that I think that it just blows up, it expands, something causes it to slow down, maybe like a black hole or something absorbs everything else and just blows up.
I think eventually it slows down, and the pull of the gravitational pull possibly makes it causes it to collapse on itself,
Yeah.
and then basically all like matter just condenses into a single point, and then there's so much pressure that it just kind of blows up again, and then just and the cycle just repeats. So there's a constant expand like explosion, expansion, and
Hmm.
then then it contracts again, and just this goes on for infinity.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I believe in. But, well, possibly. It's just one theory. I don't know if that's the original Big Bang theory, but it makes sense, kind of.
I would think so. I mean, I believe it. Um, just
Yeah,
one.
but I always wonder if that happens. Does everything happen exactly the same? Like, or is the explosion random every time? If it's random every time, that means then
Yeah.
everything that is happening now is not gonna happen again for sure.
No, hell no. This can't
Yeah,
happen again. There can't be another one. Dude,
yeah,
imagine it can. Holy crap. But I guarantee
yeah.
you
What if
what?
we're
I'll
just
guarantee
repeating?
you. No, but I guarantee you one thing. You as a person, you yourself, you will never be alive again. You're gone. Once your life is over, it's over. And you want the explanation, you want the reasoning. Like we were even talking, remember when I was saying like, dude, with religion, it was crazy. I was saying like, fuck, I forgot what the hell I was talking about. I was saying something like, if when you die, if when you die, like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm remembering now. I said nothing even
No,
matters because when you die, you're not going to be you anyway. Like you are who you are because I am Jonas because of how everything that how I look, how like physically how I look, how emotionally
your
I am,
memories.
my memories, my thoughts, my interactions. So when I'm dead, that Jonas is gone. Now anything else that comes after that, that's not me. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not even me that would get that life that people are so obsessed with. It's like maybe something happens. I'm like, all right, if it does happen, that's not happening to me anymore because I am who I am of what I am because I'm alive. If I'm dead, that's not
Right.
me. It's not because when you think it's like you're if you're just talking about just the viewer, meaning you're the guy who's watching life happen through like the TV. I guess that can happen, but then that's not going to be you.
Right.
Because
What
the
do you think
way
about karma?
I don't believe it at all. I
I'm
mean,
assuming I'm assuming you don't believe it.
I don't
Yeah.
believe it. No, hell no. I don't believe it. I mean, dude, like I said, people are crazy savages. You know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing in a way that because I don't believe in the karma, it explains everything. It's like all the horrible stuff that happens in the world and everything. It's like it
No.
makes so much sense. It's like, oh, okay, that's why people can be so evil because there are no rules. And it makes
Yeah.
sense with
Karma doesn't
everything.
make sense. Doesn't make sense at all.
No, because karma is also like it depends on who's karma, who believes in the karma. It's like if I think I'm doing something bad, maybe some other person would think that I'm actually doing good.
Yeah. Who's to judge what's good and what's not?
But that's
So
exactly what I'm saying. It's like what's good, what's bad. We made this shit up.
yeah.
Fuck.
And according to evolution, it's always a small percentage of the population that survives and passes on. So the majority could be, in fact, wrong.
Wrong. Yeah. It's true. It's like who
Yeah,
wrote they say like who wrote the history books, the victors, you know.
right.
And that's crazy. It's like the stuff
Also,
that's
karma, like you're born with like a disease. How do you explain that? Like a baby's born with some disease that's gonna be painful for the rest of their life. Like what could have they possibly done to receive that kind of that negative karma from birth? It doesn't make sense to me.
absolutely, yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
I think Buddhists would say that they probably did something bad in the previous life,
Mhm.
but then how do you connect that life to the previous life? Like, what is the connection?
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't, I don't think that there should be a connection, but they believe it. But to me, then it's not like, I don't know, like I wouldn't design life that way. I would design, like, I don't even know how I would design it. Like, it's like, dude, it's just crazy. I don't know. It's freaking me out even. I'm gonna have to tap out even
No,
maybe. I'm joking. No,
yeah,
hell no. I love this. I live for this. Dude, freak me out. You know why I like it? Fucking freaks me out. It makes me feel alive. Makes me feel alive when I go to work. Fuck, that makes me feel alive when I'm fucking going into a deli getting a cup of coffee and then sometimes I stop and I'm like, I look at the guy at the counter, me and him make eye contact. We start laughing and I'm